Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and I'm very excited. Once again, we are getting box set number 2 from that issue 275 with the gold and blue or yellow and blue, whatever you want to call it, team. And this box set, we have Jubilee, we have Storm, and we have Marvel's Forge because, well, Forge is apparently being used somewhere else, so they have to say Marvel in front of it. And in the background, you can see that amazing cover that produced that, etc. On top, 60th anniversary. Oh, gonna drop it. On this side, we have all the characters in their little poses. Then we have a picture of them on the back and what they come with. I do like the fact that Forge is just always holding a big, massive gun. Jubilee probably has the same accessories as she did back in the day. And Storm with this beautiful new head sculpt. I'm very excited to see that. And I got this from Hasbro Pulse. And on this side, we have beautiful artwork from, I think that's from one of the scenes, if I remember. In fact, I think that's from the actual cover 275. There you go. You can see it down there. So, which is pretty decent. So, I'm going to get these out of packaging. We can have a closer look at them. So, firstly, here is the whole team together. I just wanted to point out that Jubilee is, being a teenager, is smaller than Storm, which is always a good start. And Forge is actually taller than Storm. However, I feel like Storm is very tall, if I got my comic memory on correctly. And I always felt like she was actually probably a similar size than Forge. But I feel like Forge is about 6 foot. I could be wrong. But anyhow, it doesn't matter. I feel like this works anyway in terms of height-wise. I just thought I'd point that in there. And in particular, I will make a point to put Storm's head on Jubilee's body because I'm not going to go buy another pack. Let me be clear. But Storm was in a child's body for a period of time leading up to this, after the siege perilous where they went through, etc. And then that's how she comes to meet Gambit, etc. And if I remember correctly, she becomes back to full woman after Extinction Agenda, if I remember correctly, on Genosha. Oh, say my words this morning. I feel like that's how that bit happened. So I certainly will do that. But firstly, let's have a look at Storm because I am very excited by the Storm. This is a gorgeous, if I can get my camera to focus. This is a gorgeous head sculpt. Just look at it. And she's got the little lightning earrings going on there. The white eyes. You only get the one head sculpt, which is probably a little bit disappointing. Because I would have liked one with normal eyes. Where she's not in battle mode. And it certainly does look like the same body as what we've already seen with Betsy. So I'm probably going to be a little bit disappointed with Articulation, etc. But very, very clear cut. Nice paint job on there as well. I'm not seeing any issues. I love the fact that these are actually painted on rather than connections because they drop in it. Although that does help customizers, it used to bug the hell out of me completely. It's just a really, really clean job. So let's just, if I don't drop her, let me just bring my camera down slightly. Go. Go right, so the head can go all the way around, go down, sorry. You can go up a little bit. Then there is the full 360 on the arm, which is what we expected. Lift up there, you can turn it there on the ball there. Then there's the movement on, I forgot what that part of the body is, the bingo wings in my case. This got a double joint and it is pinless, which is great. There's a spin there. I'm sorry, I'm just knocking my... God, I keep knocking it, sorry. And you can do that with the hands, which I feel is very important. I'm so sorry. The movement is on there. So this is where I get a little bit disappointed with the articulation, because there is movement on the torso, which is great, but nothing on the waist. And this is one solid piece here. So very disappointing. You can do the full splits. Oh, goodness, I'm so sorry. When you need to sneeze, you need to sneeze. There's a swivel on the thigh, then there's a double on the leg. And then there is no movement on this bit, which I find is really, really awful. You got a lefty, a righty, an upsy, and a downsy. So you can do some poses, etc. But from my perspective, I just found it a little bit disappointed. A little bit disappointed. There we go. Come on. You're not going to stand in that position, are you? Of course you're not. So, in terms of accessories, so like I said, I feel a little bit let down with the Storm in terms of what she comes with. The second head would have been appreciative. I feel like that would have been a really decent thing for them to do. I'm sorry, I'm just changing off the hands in the background, and it's easier than trying to do it on camera because I'll be knocking the camera everywhere, and then it'll just be embarrassing. So she does come with the really cool lightning effects, and boy, do I like them. Watch out, Palpatine. There's a new lightning striker in Bound in Fat. Storms existed longer than you, Palpatine, so... And she can be reborn in the Krakoa era, well, if she chooses to. So yeah, so very, very nice. I do like these little effects. They're very cool, very awesome. So let me I'm just quickly doing it now. Okay, well that went quiet. I was trying to take off Jubilee's head. That is not working. So there you have it. You can put this Storm's head on this body, or you hope they just make a child Storm. One thing I will point out is obviously the skin tone's different, so that bit doesn't work. But from a front angle, if you get that in the right direction, actually that doesn't look that bad. But does the Storm head actually really look childlike? Probably not. So up to you to do it. I will remind people that when you have new figures, the joints are going to be tough, so just be careful when you're pulling things off. I felt like the last few times when I've had to take a head off a body that I've worried that I'm putting too much pressure on it. So sometimes people use hair dryers, they use a little bit of hot water just to, you know, soften the plastic and make it a little bit easier, and perhaps that's probably the right thing to do, etc. So we've already seen Jubilee with the original head on. So I'm just going to quickly put the bubblegum head on. And I'm sorry, I'm doing so many things on camera today and it's not panning out as such. So there we go. So there is the other head sculpt. And she looks like Pop out of that TV show when I was a kid. I can't remember what it's called. And the bubblegum piece just sort of sits like that. There we go, folks. The bubblegum piece doesn't sit like that. It's actually a whole piece that pops into the mouth. And actually, where I was putting the head on, I've actually accidentally snapped it rather than popped it out. So I will grab another head, a Jubilee head that does have that, and I'll have to reach out to Hasbro. My own undoing, unfortunately. I've taught about being careful, etc., and then I go and break my own rules. So anyway, so let's just get on with Jubilee because I'm a bit butthurt now, right now. So head. This is what I was talking about, the joint. See that? There we go. See what I mean? There's loads of stress there. That is not good. Not good at all. So just be careful with that. I also forgot to say the collars are all there. Head can go, the arm can go around up like that. It doesn't have a movement there. It only has a single on the hand. But it does sort of go back like that. So if you want to wear a broken arm, you could do that. There is movement there, so you can get her in those poses, etc. The movement, once again, is on the torso. She does come with this beautiful X badge there. She can sort of not do the splits, which we wouldn't expect from Jubilee anyway. She's a mole rat junk food junkie. No movement there again, which I find very disappointing with these last few figures. I'm not sure what that's about. Well, that's the new trend with female bodies, but that's happened a few times. And yeah, very, very embarrassed about the bubblegum bit, especially after what I've been saying. I'm also concerned about this ball joint. Pressure does seem to be a thing with the Jubilee body in particular. So just be wary of that. And then finally, we're going to bring in Forge. Forge looks absolutely stunning. This is the Forge we wanted. In that single pack, they gave us a different sort of Forge, which perhaps works with X Factor. But I felt even with X Factor, he was sort of wearing this sort of uniform. He comes with this amazing big gun, which looks absolutely stunning. I really do dig that. I love that face, just that stern face. But he also looks a little bit psycho as well. I mean, Forge has a weird way of thinking, etc. And then in terms of body, he has the brace piece there, which is great. Let's just take that gun off quickly. Nice big X belt, metal leg. It just looks really good all the way around. In terms of articulation, he does have the bit around the neck as well. I feel like, did they need that? What's the neck bit about? I'll probably have to go watch it. Read those issues again just to understand what the neck piece is about. The head can go around. You just gotta bend the hair slightly. The arm can go around. Go up like that. There is a swivel. There is a spinny. Then there is a double on there. No movement on the wrist, but movement there just so you can get that gun piece posed correctly. Movement on the torso, but also he has the waist movement, so he has nice articulation. He can almost do the splits, which is pretty awesome. We can go with this cool metal leg spin there, and then he has a double on the legs. It's full circle there. Lefty, righty, upsy, and a downsy. There we go. Nice and neat. That looks pretty awesome. And he is a decent figure. I really do dig him a lot. Look at that. That was awesome. I'm just putting him in all sorts of weird poses because I can do that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in some other Storms, Forge, and Jubilee so we can have a little quick look at them before we do that final piece with the rest of the team. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so here are the three Jubilees from the comic world. So the first Jubilee that we ever got in Marvel Legends was big time letdown, Build-A-Figure Vampire Jubilee. Now, it's not necessarily a bad figure. I think at the time we would have preferred 90s Jubilee, for example. So that's why it probably felt like a bit of a letdown. Also, she didn't come with a sort of a vampire face, which was, you know, it's probably one of the darker X-Men Marvel Legends years back in 2013. But eventually we got the Jubilee we all wanted. And then we got them doing the animated shading Jubilee, etc., with the red rather than the pink. And if I remember rightly, in the mold, I feel like she have green on? A green top? I can't remember. Maybe it's red. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. So you've got that as well in the mix. So you got a little bit of choice. This Jubilee was when she was first sort of becoming actually an X-Man, and then she gets shipped off to Generation X afterwards. Okay, here is Forge with the other Hasbro Forge that has been released over the last few years. And once again, that's what sort of got me excited, thinking that this was going to happen. However, you can tell that the yellow and blue is more like a sort of dark yellow rather than the light yellow, etc. And he's got more of a custom sort of uniform going on there, etc. And once again, I've still not decided or where this particular uniform has come from. It's certainly looks like an X-Men uniform, but is that from nowadays? Perhaps, maybe, but I'm still not entirely sure. But there he is, and he does look very cool in either costume, etc. Forge is a very appreciative character I probably said that completely wrong, but you know what I mean anyway. So there we go. And let's move on to our final figure comparison. All right, so here is Stormverse. Now, we are certainly still far from getting all the different various storms. There's Age of Apocalypse Storm, for example. There, I'm pretty sure there are some more modern day storms, and even Queen Storm from Wakanda when she married Black Panther. I'm sure there's a storm in there. Wasn't she part of the Fantastic Four that one time? I cannot remember. So this is the comic storms, and I just wanted to bring in a animated storm so you can have a look. Very cool. I do like that. So you can, it's just gonna stand saying I haven't tried. You may knock them all down. We're just gonna carefully, come on, don't fall over, please. And then, nope, there we go. Anyway, moving on. Then we have what I call Toy Storm. Now, there is a debate that at one period of time in the comics, it felt like she was wearing this darker costume. There is also this costume with her with short hair, if I remember correctly, at one point. I may be wrong, etc. You know, that, you know, there's 60 years worth of X-Men data in my head to try and remember, and even so, I still haven't read everything out there. I've read the majority of it. There we go. There's the dominoes. You can see they look very. I'm glad I took my picture before I did the video piece. Oh my god, it's just falling down. So we have Second Genesis Storm, which is a Storm sort of when she first joined the X-Men, and we have Storm when she was going through sort of a difficult time. So she ends up shaving her hair and going a bit wild. In fact, her friendship with Yukio was pretty special to her. And if I remember right, Kitty Pryde was pretty offended, or she felt like it wasn't the Storm that she knew. We have the 2013 Storm release, which is the Storm based off... oh my goodness, I forgot what it's called. When she basically had her own female line, etc. And then we have obviously classic 90s Storm going on there, which looks awesome. So so that's it for the comparisons. Let's get all those figures together so we can see that final shot that I'm very excited to do. Okay, so I've tried to replicate the 275 cover best I could, but I think I haven't done a bad job. I guess at some point I really do need to invest in some flight charts because this girl looks so much better. I guess one of the biggest downfalls is Gambit. The way that the picture is, he's actually thrown from his right arm, not his left, so that's a little bit irritating, but other than that, I think I've done all right. And Jubilee's got some bubble gum in. I just wanted to point out this is a previous head sculpt with the bubble gum, so the head is actually lighter than the skin tone on the neck, so you can see a difference if you really look. But you know, just looking at this is absolutely phenomenal, even from, just take it around from each angle so you can see how good it looks. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what being a collector for, oh goodness, almost 20 years, blimey. 20 years and a few years off Marvel Legends. Back in 2006, I started collecting these, and you know, I could only dream back then that this would happen. So it's nice to achieve this. So I hope you like my channel. If you do, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you to those that are already subscribed. Appreciate you folks a lot. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace geekness. Take care. Bye-bye.